Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Larika here. I don't know about you, but lately, probably because of the situation that we're in, um, I've been thinking a lot more about death and dying. Now, to me, it's not a new subject because being a Buddhist, I've been studying it for a long time. I've been, thinking about it for a long time. But something that I always wondered is, for me, and is we are so afraid of dying, aren't we? That's probably like our biggest fear. We're gonna die. But the thing is, we're all going to die at some point. There is no out of that. There is no oh, can I skip that part? No, it's going to happen to us. And I think in our society today, we never talk about it. It's like a no-go zone. Nobody talks about dying. It's like we only talk about dying in a very negative sense. And dying is part of living. Dying is part of life. We just have to look outside our window and we will see that. You have summer, you have winter. Summer, everything, it grows and is green, and winter, everything, the plants die, they end, and then you need to put new shoots, new seeds in the ground for those plants to come. Even the trees that last for many, many years, even those trees, they lose their leaves and they really look like they're gone, they're dead, right? But they come back again when spring and summer comes, and then they're all green again. So I think for us as humans, we have this thing inside of us. Is like we gotta avoid dying at all costs. we have to avoid it. It's just we cannot go there, right? But I think, shouldn't we maybe be a bit, prepare ourselves a little bit for when that moment comes, when we breathe out our last breath, whether it's going to be a moment of we know when it's going to happen. Some people, when they have become very ill and they almost prepare for it, and other times there are people that it just happens so quick, accident or whatever, aneurysm or something like that. Wouldn't it be good for us to be prepared for that moment when that happens? Like, like when you say you want to learn to play in a you want to learn to play the violin. Let's take something like that, and you're probably not going to just wake up one morning, go and buy a violin and walk into the symphony orchestra and say, okay, I'm here for my audition, I'm going to now just audition, get in and play in this orchestra. No, that would be a little bit irresponsible because you're probably not going to be able even to know what note to play, right? I mean, you could try it, but it's probably not going to work. So you're going to have to practice it and get that violin, familiarize yourself with it, practice with it, and then learn to play it, and you will know that it works. You can play it well, and then you can go for your audition, and you learned your skill. And it's the same with living and dying. I think we need to learn to get used to the idea that our lives will end at some point. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, it might only be in 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, however long, but it's going to come to an end at some point. And maybe if we are prepared for it on some level, I'm not saying that we should be like oh yeah, I don't care, I'm gonna die, right? We all die, and be blasé about it. But maybe be more, for me, the way I do it is I'm trying to be more alive while I'm here. I'm trying to um, appreciate life, appreciate my life, even the sad parts in my life, even the traumatic parts in my life, the moments that might not be that I would ever want back again. I really try and appreciate even those moments, because those moments teach me something. They help me grow into something stronger, better, maybe, you know. They teach me maybe not to do something else. It's every moment is important. And for us to just cut off that there's going to be an end point, you know, is that really a good thing? It's, I think there's so many people dying, and that's, we talk so much about dying on our own, and you know, we need to have our family around us. And yes, that is a great thing if that can happen, but it's not always possible. You know, sometimes you die alone. And wouldn't you want to maybe, this is what I think for myself. I'm not saying everybody believes that same as I do, right? You have your own beliefs. But for me, it's like, and maybe there's people that agree with me, isn't it better to be prepared that when you do die, you feel you're ready? I learned so much about dying gracefully and with acceptance from my mother. She passed away just over a year ago, and it's still very emotional for me, and I miss her terribly. But you know, something I learned from her is that she knew she was going to die. She was sick, so she knew she was going to die. But her approach to it was so beautiful, was so accepting. So, you know, she said to me that I have lived my life. I have had a wonderful life. I have had a full life. I'm ready to go now. Wherever it is that I'm going to, I'm ready. And I mean, how evolved as a being can you be when you say that? I am ready to step into whatever happens after life. And maybe that's something that we can think about. That is something I have been thinking about, and I have done lots of meditations over the years about death and dying, and accepting that, and working with the fear, because I think the fear is the biggest part when we die. It's the fear of the unknown, of not knowing what happens afterwards. But if I can approach it like my mother, if I can learn to accept that I'm going to end, I'm going to stop breathing, and that's okay, because it happens to all of us. But as long as I'm here, I want to live my life as full as I can, even when I have restrictions, even when I have troubled times. I just live my life with compassion and with gratitude and with love in my heart. Then when the time comes for me to pass over to the next, when it ends or when something new begins, when I die, I don't know what will happen. But if I can live like I just explained, maybe that's all that we need to do. Maybe that's all that I need to do in order to have a beautiful life, in order to feel that I have lived an amazing life, and I'm grateful for the life that I have lived, just like my mother. So, yes, that was just what I wanted to say today. And I really thank you for listening, and I wish you a day full of really special moments with yourself, and with your loved ones, but especially special moments with yourself. Lots and lots of love and health to you. Thank you. Bye for now.